Hello, hello. So, my model is with a little problem. VC Face yesterday started giving me problem and I don't know what to do to fix it. But I will be trying. But while I try, I will still be making videos. So, here we are. it's stuttering a little, I don't know why. It's not the OBS. Okay. The original is on the description. If you can open a new tab and let the video play muted and give a like to the original creator, would be nice to give his view and things like that. If you like my video, please give a like, comment and subscribe. Okay, let's go. Eastern European stereotypes. I know a little. I don't know too much. I know that a bunch of them is what's the name? I forgot. The communist thing. They were a part of. They were a part of the. Fuck it. I know there is some of them that were in wars too, but I don't know specific things.
A magical place where dreams, hopes, and aspirations go to die.
I'll decide.
And British men go to get laid. Its exact location is a bit controversial, as everyone from British men go to get laid.
Supermarket of Paris, Europa visit. Three depressing realities about life in Eastern Europe. Okay.
Its exact location is a bit controversial, as everyone from this group copes and pleads how they're Central Europe, but we all know everything east of Vienna is Russia in denial. Despite this, even though Eastern Europe has played a crucial role in educating the masses on how not to organize their economies, very few people know the accurate stereotypes from the region, and very often resort to depicting everyone and anyone from this region as Russians with slightly different variations.
Holy shit.
So, to correct this mistake, here are Eastern European stereotypes explained.
Hungary.
If there's one country that constantly
nice.
the pot in Europe, then that is
that's a nice
country that constantly
a nice bigode. I don't know how to say in English. How do I say bigode in English? I forgot now. This thing here we call bigode.
In Europe, then that is none other than Hungary. Throughout Europe, Hungary as a country tends to have a reputation as a troublemaker when it comes to everything and anything political. The EU is voting to pass a new law that criminalizes chucking cats off bridges into a river. Well, guess who's gonna veto that one? Who else but Hungary? As a people, though, the Hungarians are usually stereotyped as being quite cold, reserved, apprehensive, and...
But that isn't that how everyone from these places are stereotyped as? At least to us Latinos, I guess to us Latinos, everyone is kinda cold there. Because we have a much more we are much more okay with touching, hugging, talking, these things.
Don't like to venture out of their own circle. Throughout the Balkans, they're not the most well known for being able to speak a different language other than Hungarian, because of which everyone and anyone makes fun of them for it. Alongside this, Hungarians are renowned for their pessimism. No matter how good things are going, how nice something is, Hungarians will always find a reason to think it's not going to last and everything will collapse into misery and suffering. Sort of like my last relationship. This is so prevalent throughout the Hungarian psyche that there is even a saying about this in Hungarian. Sírva vigod a magyar, which roughly translates to the Hungarian is jobs in Hungarian. Sírva vigod a magyar.
Sírva vigod a magyar. Sírva vigod a magyar.
Which roughly translates to the Hungarian is jolly while crying. Essentially, they're like a
Ooh,
bunch of emos
there is some
who,
time that I
instead of
don't see
dressing
this
in all
video.
black and having a questionable hairstyle, have to stick sour cream in everything they eat and speak
What the
the
fuck?
language of the Martians from Mars Attacks.
Nám pičok pivu na stůl normálně došel Ježek.
If you've ever
Yes.
seen a man on a hot summer day strutting down the city, rocking the renowned socks and sandals combo, alongside with a white wife beater and a mullet, then my friend, you've encountered a Czech. Throughout the Slavic
Czech.
world, the Czechs are seen as the most composed of the bunch,
What the
except
hell?
for maybe the Slovenians.
There are two
but
types.
we all know seen as the most composed of the bunch, except for
To
maybe
type of Slovenian males. A fanboy and
the Slovenians. But
Ah,
we all
Robo
know
kinda like a
goes
guy.
on
What the
there, so
fuck?
we don't count them. While other Slavs love to spend their time in bars and pubs drinking the most disgusting, revolting, gag reflex-inducing brandy or vodka their grandpa personally spent their weekend brewing and ended up making in a tub whose fumes blinded the entire village for 5 days.
Drma,
what the heck?
to je domaća majku ti jebem. Kad sam je peko, cela ulica halucinirala 3 dana od isparenja. 40 ljudi prijavilo policiji da je vidjelo boginju Šivu.
The Czechs instead like to drink good old beer.
German accent, and so of course I love beer.
What the
Living
fuck
in
is
such
this
close
video?
proximity to the Germans made them stereotyped as the most functional among the Slavs, and the most stuck up as well.
How's
Stereotyped as the most functional among the Slavs, and
Wait, let me hear again.
Germans made them stereotyped as the most functional among the Slavs.
most
and
functional?
the
How Czechs see themselves compared to the rest of Slavs? They brush the same toilets in Germany.
most stuck up as well. Many even just like to call them Slavic-speaking Germans. And if you're ever in Czechia, don't shy away from saying this to the locals. They'll absolutely adore you for it.
Ooh. Poland?
If the Czechs are the Slavs who have their shit the most together, then the Poles would be the most unhinged. Well, in the US,
Seems
Poles
fun.
are usually stereotyped as being slow and not having the best of brain function. In Europe, they are stereotyped
are?
as the most hyperactive, high-energy.
I didn't know-
spastics in
did
existence.
not know
Every
about
time
that.
you log on the internet and find some bizarre fever
The
dream
thing
ass-
that I know about Poland is the things that we see in the internet nowadays about they not letting, they protecting the borders or something like that, and the prime minister or is the president, I don't know, talking about it.
clip on it, such as a homeless guy being spray painted silver,
What the
a guy
fuck?
screaming at some poor lost animal in the city, or just simply annoying the tram driver.
Bajajajo, bajajajo.
You just know.
I heard that.
it's
I heard that kurva.
from Poland. Besides operating on another plane of existence, the Poles are also stereotyped as being extremely religious.
Oh yeah, there is
Today,
this
the
one
country
too.
is
This
one
one
of the
you,
most Catholic countries in
the
world,
most
and by
one of the
far
most
in Europe. As a
Catholics.
result, the Poles tend to take
Here I think we are the most one of the. I think here Brazil is one of the most Catholic countries. If I not misremembering. Brazil. Catholic. In the world. Yes, Brazil does have the largest Catholic population in the world. Yeah, I was right about that. It's one of the most Catholic. It's in the top 10. Let me see here. I don't know from when this is. Oh, here there is one. There is one here. Top 1 Brazil, second Mexico, Philippines, 1 United States, Italy, France, Colombia, Poland. With 87% of the population. But there is, I guess, how much people you have in your country count to, I don't know.
Catholicism quite seriously. This essentially originates from Poland.
We
being
are very
constantly
Catholic
invaded,
here, Joe.
annexed, and divided amongst its neighbors. As such, the church was the mainstay of Polish language, tradition, heritage,
What the-
culture, and literature. Because of this, the church came to play a big part of life for Poles,
The
and
monks.
as a result, helped in the creation of this stereotype.
Dancing, what the hell? My trophy.
Now, you think that a
Okay.
group of countries that is located this far
Estonia,
east on the
Latvia,
continent would accept
Latvia,
that they're,
Lithuania.
Eastern Europe. But no, we're not Eastern Europe, we're Northern Europe, we're Nordic, bro, please.
Nordic.
But regardless of what their European pronouns are, one thing is for certain, please. But
Estonians explain how they're essentially Scandinavians.
regardless of
They're
what
the
their
Vikings. They want to be Vikings descendants.
European pronouns are, one thing is for certain. Their food is
I mean,
part of
Vikings are
defense
cool,
against
but-
humanity and everything good and holy. If you want your plate to look like something that came out from the chum bucket, the Baltic cuisine is the
What the
food for you.
fuck is
As
this
a whole,
shit?
the people are also known as professional Russian haters. Pray to God that if you ever enter in a competition on hating Russia, that your opponent isn't an Estonian. But considering
I mean, feel that by history, a bunch of these countries were part of the Soviet Union, right? So there's probably some fighting in the past about it.
the Russians more or less tried to wipe
Oh, I
their
remember
heart
the name. The name Soviet Union.
culture and people off the face of the earth, it's kind of expected. Next up, we have Moldova. Now, if you ever seen
Moldova.
someone online describe themselves as Balkan/Eastern European and create content about that region without ever specifying from what country they're from exactly, then my friend, you've stumbled upon a Moldovan.
Moldova.
Essentially, Moldovans are stereotyped as basically Russified Romanians. Although they might speak Romanian, have the same culture as Romanians, and share the same genes as Romanians, if you're Romanian, good luck trying to decipher anything someone with a
What the heck?
Chisinau accent said. They're also known as the world's biggest drinkers as well.
Oh.
And to be fair, if most of your country look like an endless doomer montage,
Yeah.
you drink too. It also doesn't help that they are some of the best makers of wine, for which they were known throughout the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union.
I don't
Ukraine.
know whether you're a batshit insane liberal or a completely demented conservative. You either think that the Ukrainians are the most perfect heroic heroes that
Nah.
are fighting to keep our democratic freedoms,
Every place,
and if you
every place there is good and bad.
so much as say anything slightly critical of the country, you are a piece of shit, Vatnik, that should go and lick the dirt off of Putin's boots
What the
and
fuck?
die. Or that they're the most corrupt Nazi sympathizers in the world, that the global elite, consisting of Klaus Schwab, Biden, Ursula von der Leyen, and Taylor Swift, is using as their pawns in an effort to achieve complete and utter world domination. And Zelensky
What the fuck?
himself is actually a shape-shifting fascist lizard man who eats US gold reserves for breakfast.
You know how the internet is. People can't have a normal middle ground opinion. You have to be or in one side or in the other. So
However, if you haven't been lobotomized and take modern political discussion out of the equation, Ukrainians are generally stereotyped as everyone else in Eastern Europe, being cold, living in grey Minecraft blocks, and eating everything and anything that's been stuffed in a barrel with vinegar for half of the year. Amongst the Western world, their women are known for their beauty and charm,
They are?
therefore the country is a cesspool of wannabe alpha male passport
Bro.
bros that make YouTube videos on how to pick up a trad wife Ukrainian girl and not one of those icky,
what the
stinky
fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
dinky American girls that only know how to charge their phone, twerk, be bisexual, eat hot chip, and lie. Apparently, they also eat a lot of pig lard and borscht.
Once again, I
Big
would
lard.
like to make this very clear. I am gay.
In the past, your average Russian was stereotyped as a cold, goofy man with a thick accent that does stupid shit in the tundra, such as
like
wrestling a bear,
to drink
driving
vodka
like a
in the
fucking
morning.
idiot, drink copious amounts of vodka,
Yeah.
and pass out in the most random of places. However, ever since Putin just had to go and conquer more territory because God knows Russia being the largest country by landmass doesn't have enough of it, the Russians have started to be stereotyped as essentially an incompetent
Fiery nation.
who can't even conquer the southern water tribe, let alone bossing say. Brain-dead liberals stereotype them as the second coming of the Huns and as the scourge of the earth, while cognitively inhibited conservatives perceive them as some conservative value
As always, the two extremes being crazy.
crusaders who are here to free the world from wokeism and slay the evil stinkman Zelensky, who has almost sucked the entire Federal Reserve dry. At the end of the day, if you have a pulse, you probably have your own stereotype about these guys. In conclusion, and yeah, those would be some of the more popular stereotypes about these countries.
Nice.
If you enjoyed this video, as always, give it a
Nice
like,
video, nice video.
subscribe button.
I knew a little bit,
Become a member like these wonderful people.
but it's always good to learn a little more. What? What the heck is this music? Douglas Hobby Bomba. Intro song. Okay. Okay, if you liked this video, please. Oh, there is something on Brazil here. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment something, and subscribe. Okay. Sorry about the model. I'm still trying to make it work.